Scoring a dependable rifle for less than $300 might seem like it's unlikely these days, but believe it or not, there are still a handful of solid choices, especially if you're looking for something straightforward, lightweight, and comfortable to shoot. Number 8. Ruger 1022. Sitting at a price point of around $230, it's one of those rifles that gives you a lot of bang for your buck, both literally and figuratively. Operating the 1022 is as straightforward as it gets. You've got a simple crossbolt safety and easy-to-use paddle-style magazine release. Between those controls sits a small metal tab that locks the bolt back, though fair warning, it can be a little tricky until you get the hang of it. The rifle feeds from a classic 10-round rotary magazine, which Ruger is known for. Loading it is a breeze. Just line up the base of your round with a slot, guide it past the feed lips, and let it settle into place inside the rotary drum. It's a design that stood the test of time because it just works. Number 7. Chiappa Little Badger TDX. This thing isn't just small, it's ridiculously small. We're talking about the kind of rifle you can tuck into a backpack and forget it's even there. Now, I've always had a soft spot for survival rifles. There's something about knowing you've got a reliable little shooter tucked away, just in case. The TDX? Well, Chiappa really outdid themselves here. It's a 22 LR, though if you're feeling fancy, you can grab it in 22 Magnum too. No recoil to speak of, which makes plinking cans or small game a breeze. What really gets me is how this thing breaks down. They call it takedown extreme for a reason. Flip a lever near the trigger guard, twist a knob, and just like that, it's in two pieces. Fits right back into that tube like a puzzle piece. The first time I did it, I thought, now that's clever engineering. The barrel's threaded, so if you're like me and enjoy keeping things quiet, slap a suppressor on there. Or maybe a little compensator if you're feeling tactical. It's got a 16.1-inch barrel, so you're getting decent velocity out of those 22 rounds. You could throw a red dot on the Picatinny rail if you wanted, but honestly, I kind of like keeping it bare bones. That's the charm of this rifle. No frills, just friction. And here's a feature I didn't know I needed. The buttstock holds 12 rounds. When you're out in the woods, not having to dig through your pockets for ammo is a blessing. Fold the stock, twist that little knob to lock it down, and you've got a flat, compact package ready to disappear in your gear. The whole setup weighs just 3.5 pounds. Price-wise, Chiappa says it's around $280, but I've seen it for less if you know where to look. It's a newer model, so they can be a bit scarce, but patience pays off. Number 6. Savage 64F. The action feels good, the stock is sturdy, and for $169, it's hard to find a better deal. This rifle tips the scales at just 5 pounds. Whether you're out plinking or teaching a beginner, that lightweight build makes it easy to carry and shoulder all day. The matte black synthetic stock isn't just about looks either. It's weather resistant and built to handle rough conditions without complaint. In front, you've got a 21-inch carbon steel barrel with a 1:16 twist rate, designed to squeeze solid accuracy out of every shot, even when you're running bulk ammo. The overall length sits at a manageable 40.5 inches, making it compact enough for younger shooters but still comfortable for adults. Feeding the blowback action is a detachable 10-round magazine. Now, I'll be honest, the mag can be a bit temperamental straight out of the box, but that's nothing a little tuning or upgrade won't fix. Once it's sorted, the cycling is smooth and reliable. Performance-wise, once you've cleaned out the factory parking oil and put a few boxes through it, the 64F becomes a real pleasure to shoot. It's accurate, fun, and cheap to run. Exactly what you want from a 22 LR. At around $169, it's hard to argue against the value here. Sure, it has its quirks, but for a lightweight, optics-ready plinker that won't drain your wallet, the Savage 64F hits the mark. Number 5. Keystone Sporting Arms Crickett Single Shot. A no-nonsense, lightweight 22 LR rifle that doesn't try to impress anyone unless you appreciate a good, reliable shooter that just works. I picked this little guy up years ago, not because it was flashy, but because I needed something to teach my kids how to handle a firearm the right way. And let me tell you, it's been worth every penny. This thing weighs less than 3 pounds. Yeah, you heard me. It's so light, you'll forget you're carrying it. Bolt action, single shot. That's right, one shot at a time. Sounds old school. Good, because that's exactly what you want when you're teaching someone patience, precision, and respect for every round they chamber. It's got a 16-inch barrel and stretches out to about 30 inches overall. Fits perfectly in smaller hands, but don't laugh. I've taken this thing out myself more times than I care to admit. Sure, as a grown man, it feels like I'm borrowing a kid's bike, but hey, fun is fun. Now, sights. Nothing fancy, just a fixed front and an adjustable rear peep. But here's the kicker. It's already drilled and tapped if you want to slap a scope on it. The synthetic stock? Tough as nails. You can toss it in the back of the truck, let the kids run wild with it, and it'll be ready to go next weekend. And forget about magazines. There are none. You load one round, you fire one round. It keeps you honest, keeps the newbies safe, and makes every shot count. What did I pay? Around $165 brand new, but if you know where to look, you can snag it for under $100 used. Pair that with dirt cheap 22LR ammo, and you've got yourself endless hours of plinking without draining your wallet. Number 4. Marlin 795 22LR. The Marlin 795 is a semi-auto 22LR that keeps things simple. It's fitted with an 18-inch micro-groove barrel, which basically means it delivers impressive accuracy without needing premium ammo. Weighing in at just over 4 pounds, it's light enough for a day outdoors without turning into a burden. Its synthetic black stock isn't about looks, it's about durability. Rain or shine, this rifle holds up. Plus, those built-in sling studs save you the hassle of aftermarket tweaks. The last shot bolt hold open is a feature I don't know I needed until I had it. Makes reloads smoother and safer. You get a 10-round nickel-plated magazine, and if iron sights aren't your thing, the receiver's ready for a scope. But honestly, out of the box, it's more than capable of tight groupings. Finding a reliable firearm in the $100 to $200 range feels like spotting a unicorn these days. Number 3. Marlin Model 60. With over 11 million sold and just for $200, the Model 60 isn't just a rifle, it's a rite of passage. Now, for those unfamiliar, the Model 60 has been a staple since, well, you guessed it, 1960. It's an evolution of the old Model 99, and over the years became one of the most beloved semi-automatic .22 rifles in America. Some folks will debate whether the Ruger 1022 deserves the crown, but the Model 60 has carved out its own loyal following. Loading it up is a different experience if you're used to a detachable mag. The tubular magazine might seem old school, but here's something satisfying about feeding those rounds in. Sliding the rod back and knowing you've got a pocket full of plinking ahead. Sure, it's not as quick as swapping a mag, but it's part of the charm. One thing Marlin did right, and they've been praised for it for decades, is their micro-groove rifling. Instead of a handful of deep grooves, you've got 16 shallow ones gripping that bullet. The result? Better spin, less deformation, and some impressive accuracy for a rifle that won't break the bank. Number 2. Rossi RS22. At just around 4 pounds, this little .22 semi-automatic feels most like you're holding an air rifle, but don't let that fool you. There's more to this lightweight carbine than meets the eye. When I first got my hands on it, I couldn't help but think back to my early days with Rossi. My first ever firearm purchase was a Rossi revolver, and since then, I've had a soft spot for the brand. So seeing this RS22 brought a bit of nostalgia. But what really surprised me were the features packed into such a budget-friendly package. Out of the box, you get a 10-round steel magazine, solid build with witness holes along the side, and here's a fun fact. It's compatible with Mossberg 702 Plinkster mags, including those 25-rounders. I wish I had known that sooner because I'd have loved to run a few of those at the range. Now, let's talk about that barrel. It's an 18.5-inch free-floating barrel with a recessed crown. Features you'd expect on rifles double the price. That free-float design really helps with accuracy, and just at 36.5 inches overall, this thing is as handy as they come. Trigger pull averaged around 4 pounds, 10 ounces. Pretty consistent across multiple tests. It's got a bit of take-up, but breaks clean with no noticeable over-travel. And with prices hovering around $120, it's almost a no-brainer. Number 1. Mossberg 702 Plinkster. Meet the unsung hero of budget .22s. The Mossberg 702 Plinkster. It's not here to win beauty contests, but if you care to move about sending rounds down range without a hitch, this little workhorse delivers. Weighing in at just 4 pounds, the 702 feels more like a toy until you realize how capable it is. Whether you're teaching a beginner, hitting out for a casual afternoon of plinking, or just want something you can carry all day without feeling it, this rifle checks all the boxes. Chambered in 22 LR, it features an 18-inch barrel and stretches out to 37 inches overall. The synthetic stock might not scream luxury, but it's tough enough to handle bumps and scrapes without a second thought. Safety is straightforward with a crossbolt design, keeping things simple for shooters of any experience level. Out of the box, you get a 10-round mag, but if you like fewer interruptions between shots, extended 25-round magazines are readily available. The rifle comes equipped with fiber optic sights, quick to acquire targets, though they might give off a bit of glare under certain conditions. Luckily, mounting a scope or red dot is hassle-free thanks to the dovetail receiver. Here's something most folks don't realize. Despite the Mossberg name, this rifle is actually crafted by CBC in Brazil. That partnership keeps costs low while still offering solid performance. Accuracy? It's exactly what you want in a plinker. No, you won't be winning precision matches, but hitting cans or paper targets at 50 yards is no problem, especially if you slap on a basic scope. And the price? Deals can drop as low as $110 if you're lucky, though models can run up to $190 depending on features. So have you used any of these guns? And if you have, what was the best cheap rifle you used?